And covering the increase in immigration arrests in our region since President Trump took office, and this new aggressive approach has caused some fear and confusion for certain communities. Loudoun County recently increased their traffic enforcement, but the sheriff says this has nothing to do with ICE. Joining me now is the sheriff. Thank you so much for coming in. So you say it has nothing to do with immigration. So what is behind this new initiative to do more traffic stops?
Well, first of all, we don't enforce immigration law, and that's ICE's job. We don't have the authority to do that, and it's something that we do not do. However, what we have, the agreement that we have with ICE is if we arrest somebody, and this is for everybody that we arrest, we bring them to the jail and we run them through a myriad of different computer systems, and one of them is called the IAQ, which is the immigration query. And what happens is if there's a detainer on that person, ICE can come out and pick them up, and we've always done this with them, but what this does is it gives us an extra 48 hours to release them to ICE in the event that they can't get out. Now, it hasn't even gone in force yet. I mean, we're still working through the mechanics of that, so it hasn't gone in force. That has nothing to do with our traffic stops. What we decided to do was kind of pick up the pace on what we're doing traffic-wise, because the biggest complaint that we get in Loudoun County is traffic enforcement. They want more and more traffic enforcement. And what we've done now is, because of that, we're uncovering other crimes that are involved in that. Just about 2 weeks ago, we had an incident where a car was stopped because both taillights were out. And the next thing you know, a weapon was found. It had a 50-round clip that was designed to make this, it was a handgun, a 9mm handgun, to make it fully automatic. So with a single trigger pull, somebody could shoot 50 rounds on a drum clip there. So these are the kinds of things that when we enforce traffic laws, we are uncovering crime. So it's a very proactive way to stop crime. In fact, our crime has gone down just close to 30% countywide in just the first quarter of this year because we're being more assertive with the traffic stops that we do.
And you also wanted to speak on some of the claims that are circulating in the community that there's profiling happening in the community, specifically on Latinos. First of all, where do you think this is coming from, these rumors?
Well, what we do is, I mean, we're very data driven, okay? So we're tracking everything. We're talking about the number of stops, the amount of people who are stopped, the different ethnic backgrounds of the people that were stopped, but that has nothing to do, when we pull over a car, we don't know who's driving that car, so it's not like we're targeting any kind of community. What we do is we make sure that we're enforcing, because we're data driven, we go to the areas where we're seeing the most crime, and what we want to do is make sure that we're stopping the crime, we're preventing crime in those areas. And the technique is working. We're succeeding with that, and we want to make sure that people understand this has nothing to do with profiling, has nothing to do with any of that. This has to do with enforcing traffic law, because we want to make sure that when people are committing traffic violations, they're stopped. If they're speeding, if they're running cars that are not equipment friendly, that they're not doing things properly, we want to make sure we get them off the road. And you almost can't commit a crime in Loudoun County without a car. And a lot of the folks that we're finding that we're stopping are coming from other areas to come into Loudoun County. We're just doing everything that we can to keep everybody safe, because that's our job, and that's my job as a sheriff, to do everything we can to stop crime, prevent crime, and keep our citizens safe.
So to be clear, claims from certain groups in the community that profiling is happening within your agency, you are saying flat out that is false?
Absolutely false.
Okay.
Absolutely false.
All
yes.
right. So good to have that on record. Now, what is the current agreement between your agency, you spelled it out a little bit in the beginning, your agency and ICE?
So what it is called a jail agreement, okay? So when we arrest somebody, no matter who it is, we run them through just a bunch of different computer systems. And with ICE, what we've done is if they can't get out, for example, if somebody's going to get released on bond the next day, we notify ICE, and generally they can come out in time to pick that person up if they have a detainer on them, if they want them. They don't come out for everybody. They come out for probably about 50% of the people that have detainers on them. So what this does, and it hasn't even kicked in yet because we're still going through the mechanics of it, but once it kicks in, it'll give us up to an extra 48 hours. So in the event that ICE can't get out there by tomorrow to pick this person up, they could come the next day and still get them. After 48 hours, it expires, so then it's out the window. So they'd have up to 48 hours to come and pick up a prisoner if they have a detainer on that. And that's not just for ICE, that's for anybody that has a detainer. Fairfax County, anybody that's got a criminal detainer, we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to come out and pick these people up.
Is there an awareness campaign so that the community knows that this is where you stand?
We have, and we want to keep reinforcing the proper message. There's misinformation going on out there. We want to make sure that they're getting the right message. We put out a fact fiction piece a couple weeks ago. We did a press release about a week before that talking about crime being down and the fact that we're supporting our deputies and going out and making sure that they're doing their job out there. It's just called preventive and proactive law enforcement. And what it's doing is stopping crime. Things like that you can't get because of a red light camera or a speed camera. It's about engagement. It's about us engaging with the public that we serve and trying to prevent crime and making sure that we're keeping our roads safe.
Okay, finally, let's pivot to the 4th of July holiday. It is approaching quickly. You have some important safety warnings that you want to share with the public.
Well, we just want to make sure that they're, first of all, if they're going to buy fireworks, really they should go to an official firework display, okay? There's so many in the community. Just look it up whatever area you're in. If you can't do that, you decide to buy your own fireworks. Don't buy anything that launches or anything that if it's a projectile, if it's something that flames up or whatever, or something that explodes. Those are not legal in Loudoun County or in Virginia. What we want to do is make sure that you get fireworks that are safe. And usually, if you buy them at a department store, they're pretty safe and cleared. Those are the ones that I would get. Anything else that you might buy from somebody or a stand that you might not trust, I would be careful with that.
Okay, good advice, very timely.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sheriff Mike Chapman, for joining us this afternoon.
Happy to be with you. Thank you.
All right, coming up on 7 News at noon, hot and sunny now, but we could see some showers later on today. Meteorologist Steve Loudoun will be back to tell us about the next weather maker.